Hello, my name is Joe Foy. I'm National Campaign Director for the Wilderness Committee, and this is another on-the-ground report. This time about a trip that we made, myself, Tria Donaldson, our coastal campaigner, and Lila Darwish from the Sierra Club to the Paddle for the Peace event, an annual event that's held near Fort St. John in the beautiful Peace River Valley, where people paddle the Peace River to bring attention to the fight to protect this valley from the proposed Site C dam. This time it was a little bit more challenging. Just before we left, on the news, reports of flooding all the way up north of Prince George, cutting roads in several areas. So we traveled actually through Alberta to be able to get up to the beautiful Peace River Valley. 2 days travel brought us there into this amazing valley. Here's what we saw and what we learned about the fight to stop the Site C dam.
Because it's, well, morning everyone. She's raining. I say let it rain. And I'll see what happens when it rains here. I'm glad to see everybody. I see lots of people here that have traveled a long ways, and congratulations for coming up here and making the trip, the journey to the Peace Country. We're here supposed to be the paddle for the peace today, but it's a celebration of the peace. We're not going to paddle. So it's we're going to have breakfast. We're going to sit around and visit and talk, and hopefully there might be some entertainment going on. Do we still? Where's? Yeah. Yes.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, there be. Yeah, I guess this is where the PA system is. Yeah. I just want to welcome everybody, and this is the 6th year that we've been doing this. This is the first year that we've been rained out on this whole thing, so we've been extremely blessed in doing this, and I think we're even blessed today with the rain.
So there would be actually no paddling. That's because the Peace River was full of logs and debris from the flooding. But you know what? Turned out okay, because we got to spend more time with the fantastic people that live in the Peace River Valley.
That lost river flows, it's somewhere that I cross, behind bridges that I cross. I'd like to return, but the bridges are all burned, and I'm much too far down to return to high ground. Oh, lost river, now I'm back to the heart of where the fire looks unstopped. Where the lost river lies, through the shadows of fire.
Thanks for coming, and I'm finding them that we have people that we didn't even realize were coming, and the McLeod Lake First Nations actually made the trek around, the long way around because of highway closures, and arrived here, and so we would like to thank the band council. The proposed Site C flood zone, from an ecological perspective, it's continentally important, and so we have supporters from a much broader area, from many of the environmental groups. And so today we have Joe Foy, who's the National Campaign Director of the Wilderness Committee, and they have, I believe, 30,000 members across the country, and also Tria Donaldson of the Wilderness Committee they came up from the coast today, and they're very strong supporters of the Peace River Valley. We have the Sierra Club, I believe 2 people, Lila, sorry, Lila, your last name again?
Darwish.
Sorry, I don't have my own notes here, so I'm winging it right now. Thank you, Lila, for coming up. We have 3 members of Wild Site from Golden, coming up, and can you identify yourself? Oh, great. Well, thank you very much. So these and Wendy Francis and Yuri Pikri from the Yellowstone to Yukon Conservation Initiative are also up here. So they came up from Canmore and the Kootenays. So as you can see, that we are not alone in this battle. So we'd like to thank all the people, and we'd like to especially take a big thank you for the people, the local people who could very easily have rolled over and hit the snooze button and gone to that event in this rainy Saturday morning. So thank you all.
The battle that Diane Culling is referring to is the battle to protect the Peace River Valley from the proposed construction of the Site C Dam. This dam would flood 100 kilometers of precious valley bottom that has forests and farmland, valley bottom where people live and have always lived. Some of the oldest settlements we know about in the province of BC, both native and non-native, exist here in the beautiful Peace River Valley.
First time, the Raging Grannies. Second time, everybody.
Peace River Valley, they promised First Nations for as long as the sun shines, the rivers flow and grass grows. Their way of life would be safe and strong. Now it turns up that promise has been tarnished with the threat of the huge Site C Dam, and the truth that was supposed to be unvarnished has now been exposed as a sham. The best agricultural land and the wildlife would be endangered as water rose in waves, and then adding to the taxpayers' burden, government says sacrifices must be made. Of course they say Site C is essential, damming the Peace to frack the north to pipe gas and oil. We know politicians fake reverential, it just makes our blood boil. The 8 billion should be used for innovation. Such expense calls out health and schools. Instead of clinging to the mega project fixation, claim Columbia River power unused. Would you leave your lights on all night? No. As Vancouver and other cities do, when we know in our hearts that's not right. Say power now and we'll say merci beaucoup. Cause conservation is there for the taking, from which wonderful savings would accrue. We should leave the guiding sun, wind, and tidal, and geothermal. They're all sources that renew.
The BC government has said that the Site C Dam is needed to keep the lights on in British Columbia. But in fact, British Columbia has more electrical energy than we need to keep our lights on. Site C is in fact an $8 billion publicly funded project in order to subsidize coal mining, oil, and gas extraction with cheap electrical power. We don't need Site C, we don't need this dam. What we need is the beautiful Peace River Valley, the people that live there, and the farmland and the wildlife habitat that they love, cherish, and protect.
It's gone. Well, we get up to it. Oh, we ride behind. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, Lord, we gonna fly down in that easy chair. We ride behind. Tomorrow's the the day my pride's gonna come. Oh Lord, are we gonna fly down in that easy chair? Down in that easy chair. And you still ain't going nowhere.
Can lead, and so because we're stopping, we can have mix and match, and then at the last point out, everyone who's going.
Diane Culling of the Peace Valley Environmental Association took us on a tour of the valley to see the proposed site of the Site C Dam. And along the way, Diane pointed out that the Peace River Valley has a long history of huge landslides. And many smaller landslides. In fact, up at the Williston Reservoir is a horrible sea further upstream above the Bennett Dam of continuous sloughing of the reservoir banks. If Site C Dam were to be built, residents of the Peace Valley would be left with the specter of massive slides causing tidal waves, possibly dam failure, and they would watch as their farmland and beautiful wildlife habitat continue to slough and slide into the reservoir. This is a fate nobody wants to see.
But normally we can.
Hydro's activity there, so we would cross that island.
Wow.
From this perspective, it's hard to see, but those balsam poplars on the islands and on the riparian flat. I was telling people about trees where massive balsam poplars. I think they're huge. They've all got numbers on them. The footprint downstream. One engineering report that I read, they have to excavate because the substrate, the river bed is not solid substrate, so they need to excavate approximately 8 to 10 meters of fill from the riverbed before they even get to shale, which they think it is solid enough to put a dam on. But the fill that they have to excavate, they need to dump somewhere. So one of the suggestions in an earlier, like a 2009 engineering report, was to move that fill. They said it's too expensive to take it to the plateau, so they were looking at filling the riparian flats with all this material. So these massive trees that are so important for a multitude of wildlife species, the downstream footprint is huge too, and they'd be lost as well as everything that's happening upstream.
Well, that's just about all I have for now on the Paddle for the Peace event. Join us, won't you? Let's all work together to save the beautiful Peace River Valley. We can stop the Site C Dam. Please write, phone, fax, email Prime Minister Stephen Harper and BC Premier Christy Clark. Ask them to put an end to plans for the Site C Dam. Do it today. You'll be really happy you did. Do it for that beautiful valley, for the farmland that's there, for the wildlife, and especially for the wonderful people that call the Peace River Valley their home. Well, that's about it for our on-the-ground report. This has been Joe Foy for the Wilderness Committee. If you would like to know more about the fight to stop the Site C Dam and protect the Peace River Valley, go to wildernesscommittee.org. That's wildernesscommittee.org. And now I leave you with one last tune from the Paddle for the Peace event. Bye for now.
It's early in the morning. I've been thinking about how long it's been since your last letter comes up in this song. I'm missing you on Monday and this weather's turning cold. I'm missing you on Tuesday and this summer's feeling old. I'm missing you on the weekend. You're my rock and roll.
I walk around the kitchen and I pour myself another cup. I sit out on the doorstep and I watch the sun come up. I'm missing you on Wednesday and there's wind can really blow. I'm missing you on Thursday and it feels like it might snow. I'm missing you on the weekend. You're my rock and roll.